Two, 1 2 1 2. Check.
We are
one,
not
two.
even going to be bothered with this because I don't know what's going on. I don't want to take up too much of your time. So we'll just roll with the video.
Great.
So, all right.
I promise I'm not as close as you think I am.
This is Dana Jackson, Houston's only singing DJ, here with my favorite vocalist in the world. I'm so stoked
thank
that
you
you
so
are here,
much.
Lalah Hathaway.
How are you?
Been a fan of yours, of course, since 1990.
Since I was 5 years old.
She's a baby girl.
Yes.
And so I brought this, so hopefully you can sign this for me at some
Absolutely,
point.
I appreciate that.
This is exactly when I fell in love with your voice and your music. I was telling you earlier how I was driving down the street and I heard Baby Don't Cry for the first time. Went and bought the album, and then I heard I'm Coming Back.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, absolutely, hands down, my favorite song by you ever. And then,
Thank you.
of course, on Where It All Began, you re-recorded it with
did.
Rachel Farrell.
How about that?
What was that like? I mean, two of the most amazing voices in
Thank you.
soul music.
To be mentioned with her is an honor. She's one of my favorites. She's got to be in my top 5 of all time.
Mm-hmm.
And, I was working on a record, and she just happened to call me out the blue, and I said, hey, what are you doing? Okay, why don't you come hang out? You want to come hang out? And she came and hung out. So I got really lucky.
Yeah, and it came out beautifully.
Thank
Both
you.
of you are vocalists whose your voices are truly an instrument.
Thank you so much.
I've seen you in concert several times, and the things that you do with your voice, of course, we talked about the chord singing thing, and you don't know how you do it. You're just able to do it. But
Yeah.
I heard you do that for the first time on the Snarky Puppy cut on something.
yeah.
And the internet went crazy.
They did. It was one of those things like, where it was a 6-minute long record.
Yeah.
And people were like, just get to 6 minutes and 10 seconds. Just get to 6:10. So crazy. I actually did it on a John P. Key record first.
Uh-huh.
And I did it as kind of a joke for him, who I call Uncle John, whose birthday is today. And he kept it on his record.
How did you feel the first time you did that? And were you afraid, or did you think something was wrong?
I just thought, what's that? I would do it for my friends, and I'd say, where will I use it? They say, it's cool. Well, what will you do with it? What? Just put it on a record. And I thought, well, I won't put it on a record because it's too easy to make in a studio. I would only do it live.
Yeah.
So I do it live, and people say, oh, that's interesting. And that Snarky Puppy thing happened, and it was just the perfect vehicle for that.
How was it working with Snarky Puppy? I'm so glad somebody turned me on to that band.
Yeah.
First of all, they are amazing musicians.
They really are. It's an awesome group of young men. A lot of them from Dallas.
Yeah.
And I really love being surrounded by musicians. That's what I do. So anytime I have the opportunity to go create with people, I'm in heaven.
So speaking of musicians, you've worked with a couple Houston musicians, well, probably more than that, but specifically Joe Sample, the late Joe Sample.
Yeah.
And did a whole album with him. The song Lives On.
Yeah.
And you've worked with Robert Glasper. Talk a little bit about working with Joe, first of all, because he's so loved here.
Yeah, I mean, he's an icon, and I'm so blessed to have the opportunity to work with people that mentored me before I even knew I was being mentored. Growing up listening to the Jazz Crusaders, listening to Joe Sample, it was an incredible honor to work with him so early on in my career, starting like in 93, 94. So he was one of those people, and in my mind, he still is one of those people. He was just fun and fun-loving. He would sit down with you at the bar and have a drink and tell you a story. He loved food. He loved to cook. When we go to Japan, we'd get up early on a show day and maybe go shopping for knives or go shopping for stuff for his kitchen, Mm-hmm. I went to college with his son, Nick.
Mm-hmm.
Just really great. Quite a loss. Quite a loss.
Yeah. So you've worked with Robert Glasper, another fantastic piano player and a clown.
Absolutely.
He's a funny guy.
He's
hey,
a
Robert.
comedian. He's a
is.
comedian.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to do a record together at some point.
Oh, that would be amazing.
Yeah.
Can't wait for that. But you're speaking of new projects. You've got a new one coming out in the
Lalah
fall.
Hathaway Live.
Yes, and you did this in a unique way.
I did.
Your last record, you were on Stax, right?
Yes.
So this one you're doing through crowdfunding, right?
Yeah, we did it through Pledge Music. That absolutely funded a bulk of the record. We also are doing a DVD.
Mm-hmm.
And so it has been really a journey with the fans and with my supporters, the people that, a lot of them have been with me since 1990. And it was so cool, you know, to talk to people every day. And, you know, I had my website in 98.
Yeah.
Which was, in my mind, was like Twitter or Facebook way before Twitter.
It was, because I was on there, and there was
Yeah.
always a lot of dialogue. You had the gumbo page.
From everywhere,
and
too.
you know, people on your website were known as Layla-holics.
Right.
I'm a self-proclaimed Layla-holic.
Right.
And it was a good space. It was a very good space.
It was a very good space. And honestly, if I had known that someone would be able to monetize anything like that for $1 billion, I wish I had known, but I really made a lot of friends that are still my friends now. Mm-hmm. A lot of folks work together based on having, you know, met at that site. Mm-hmm. I met people from all over the world, places I had never been before. So it has been really something.
Your fans are amazing. They are truly, truly, deeply Layla
They're
fans.
very smart.
Yeah.
And they really understand music, which is, for me, is great because, you know, the industry would have you believe that civilians don't really understand music. You know what I mean?
But they're the consumers. They're the ones
That's
buying.
right.
They're the ones that listen to it
That's
every
what
day.
I tell them. You can't really tell me how to make a record because I talk to my people every day. Those are the people I work for.
Right.
And I talk to them and see them every day.
So that leads to maybe tell me a little bit about your experience with labels from the beginning when you were with Virgin to where you are now. That whole journey to
You know, it's been interesting.
Independence.
I have been an independent artist the entire time in my mind. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? I have always been a hustler in terms of staying on my music game. Mm-hmm. I go do clinics and talk to students, and the first thing they want to know is like, can you give us any advice about the music industry or labels or? And I always tell them I can give you no advice, and when you figure it out, let me know. I can give you advice about being a musician. So that's the thing I have always kept in the forefront. You know, aside from the label chat or any kind of chatting about going to the radio stations or being in the record stores, the music is the first thing.
It's the first thing.
You know, and that's the first thing I
You play?
I do.
You're right. And your sister's a musician, right?
She is.
Kenya, yeah. So have you guys done a record before or recorded together?
Yeah, she's actually on my 1994 record. Other than that, no.
Okay.
We've done some, you know, other projects together.
Cool. All in the family.
Yeah.
All in the family. So we were talking about Grammys. You said your first unofficial Grammy was with Kurt Whalum.
Absolutely.
Right. But your official Grammy.
My official first Grammy was Snarky Puppy.
Right.
The last one last year was with Robert Glasper for Jesus Children. And it's been really an honor to receive Grammys for songs, old songs, good old songs.
Yeah.
And
Jesus
the first
Children,
one, was Snarky Puppy for a record I recorded, you know, when I was 19 or 20 years old first. I'm really going for the three-peat, though.
Absolutely. You'll get it, too.
I'm hopeful. I really wanted to create something really super great.
How did winning that Grammy, has it changed your career? Has it done anything for your career?
I don't know. I don't really focus on stuff like that because you can only live one way in that moment, and you'd have to go back. People say, you know, being Donny Hathaway's daughter, has it helped you or hurt you? I'll never know. You know what I mean? It's who I am. Yeah. I'd have to go back and do it the other way to know really the difference. But it has been fun, I'll tell you that. I went from no Grammys to 2 Grammys, so
2.5.
I ain't mad. Yeah.
I you know, another reason why I'm so thrilled to sit here and actually talk to you is because my dad was a huge Donny Hathaway fan, and he introduced me to your dad's music when I was a kid. Right. So now, you know, I'm a huge fan of yours, and I can't when I listen to your music, I can't help but think of my dad too because when he heard you for the first time, when I brought this album over to him, he was like, "That's Donny."
I appreciate that.
So you know when your father passed, you were really young. So were you singing then? Did you?
I think I was singing then. I don't know how much or how seriously. I mean, music has always been important in our house, but not important like you knew it was it was a thing I thought everybody did. So I'm the child of musicians and the grandchild of musicians. You know, I thought everybody did music. Really.
Yeah, everybody should do music. Well, no, everybody shouldn't do music.
Everybody shouldn't. But you know, back in the day when we were coming up, everyone's grandma had a piano or they went to church.
Yeah.
You know?
I grew up with musicians. My uncle had a band and toured, and I remember my brother and I always sitting in the basement watching their rehearsals. Yeah. And 2 little kids would peeping around the corner, and then
it was
of course
part of everyday life. Yeah. Even if you didn't play the piano, you had one.
We'd be down there trying to play. Yeah. You know, when they weren't around, we weren't supposed to, but we did.
Yeah.
You know.
Absolutely.
So yeah, you went to Berkeley.
I did.
Yeah, what was that like? My keyboard player actually went to Berkeley as well. So.
Okay, I had a great time. My head opened up, and I lived on the 8th floor in the dorms, and there were some really cool guys there that fed me all this music, which spurred me on to new music, which opened my mind to new things and more things, and it was a good time for me.
Good. One other thing I wanted to ask you is about your live performances. One of the things that, you know, people who go to your concerts, they know that they're not going to get the same thing as a record. But that's a good thing.
Yeah.
Because your live performances, you stretch so much vocally. It is like, you know, recreating it over and over again every single night. So where are you in your head when you're on stage with your band and you're just...
I don't know. I'm in the ethers a lot. I mean, I really take so much joy in creating music. And when people say, "Oh, you know, I like your records, but you're better live," I should be better live, right?
Yeah.
I feel like my better live is enhanced by you being in the room, by your breath, by your energy.
Yeah.
You know, that's the reason why I wanted to make a live record, because I want people to really have a chance to experience it.
So you're recording this at a legendary studio where your father's live.
I actually recorded it a month ago.
Okay.
And we did it live at the Troubadour, which is where Lalah Hathaway live was recorded.
Yeah. Right. How was that? How was that for you spiritually?
Crazy. It was crazy.
I bet there's some magic that's gonna come out of that project.
I can't even explain it. It was quite a moment.
Yeah.
It's like kind of pulling a door to and then gently stepping into a new door.
Wow. Wow. I can't wait to hear it. Now, people, I guess since the recording is already done, they can't still contribute to the...
They can, because now it's just like a merch store. You can still pre-order the album now at pledgemusic.com/Lalah Hathaway. We have T-shirts, we have stuff like that.
And they can come to LA and have drinks with you, right?
Yeah.
Is that one
I
of
don't
the
know if we still have that, but I did a lot of that. We did drinks with people. I did birthday calls. That was my favorite.
That's pretty cool because you get an investment. You know, you get a piece of Lalah that way. And, you know, by contributing to something that you're going to buy anyway.
Absolutely. And for me, it was such a fun thing because I'm in communication with the people anyway. Yeah. You know what I mean? I sign autographs and talk to folks after every show. And I have. You know, I've skipped a few, but I generally do it. And to call someone and wish them a happy birthday when they don't know you calling, you know what I mean? It's just, it has been nice. Leave some voicemails for people. We've done drinks. We've had Japanese barbecue. We did a whole bunch of stuff.
That's cool that you do that and reach out to your fans that way. That's why people stay loyal to you. You're really good friends with Rasan Patterson.
Yeah.
And I know that you guys have worked on producing stuff together, but any plans to do some major stuff for Ra?
I don't know. You know what? Rasan is in a play right now.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, Rasan is getting his acting thing back on.
Good.
He has a show in L.A. coming up, I think in about a week and a half or 2 weeks in Huntington Beach. I'm going to go see him if I'm home. And I'm sure we always have plans to hang out and have a drink and do something and laugh and make something. Yeah. Take pictures of something.
I saw the live performance of you guys doing 6 a.m., which is dope.
Thank you.
That was dope. I was like, more.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was dope. But yeah, he's a good guy. I've met him a few times too. He gave me a couple remedies. This concoction that he makes with.
Yes, it's like a salad dressing. I tell him all the time. Just put it on, just marinated chicken in that. That's not helping you.
Yes. He did a show here and he had everybody running to go get the garlic and this and that.
Yes.
Yeah. So I kind of bit that from him. But it has been a pleasure talking to you. I know you're going to be here this week for the 100 Black Men Black and White Gala at the Hilton Americas on Friday.
Yes.
Right. So have a great show.
Thank you so much.
And I'm so honored to just sit here
and
let you talk to me and spend some time with me.
I appreciate it.
Yes. So, when are you coming back to Houston again? You don't know?
I have no idea yet. Well, Houston is it's hard to get down here for whatever reason it is. At one time I came down and the generator blew out, remember?
Oh, yeah.
I've been back since then with Eric Roberson, Tweed, Ruben Studdard. That was great.
You did the Nikita Fox surprise birthday thing at Scott Gertner's downtown, the Pavilion. And I remember Robert was there. We were laughing and talking or whatever, and he said something about a surprise. And I saw you at the corner of my eye. You had glasses on. And I said, Robert. He said, shh.
He's funny.
Oh, man, that was a good night, though, because we all went over to a club afterwards, Sugar Hill, and kind of had a little jam session. Yeah, and so that was cool, yeah. You hung out with the people and everything.
That was fun.
That was fun.
I went to IHOP after that. Had me a pancake.
Yeah. I tell you, Houston's got some restaurants. You're going to be here for a couple of days. You need to go check out.
I'm getting ready to go eat right now.
Yeah.
That's what you don't know. I flew in. I took a red-eye in.
Oh yeah.
So I've been flying all night.
So you're gonna eat and go to sleep.
I'm gonna eat and have a Starbucks and go lay down.
Where are they taking you to eat?
I don't know.
Oh,
They can surprise me, really. You can't go wrong in Houston.
You can't go wrong. You can't.
You can't go wrong.
You can't go wrong. They should take you to the Breakfast Club. That's where they should take you.